what's the best position for the head? And it's not an easy answer because almost every technique we change in sport of swimming, there's a tug of war going on between drag forces and propulsion forces.
Head position in sprint freestyle is an extremely important technique. The two head positions most commonly seen are either holding the head in alignment with the upper body or tilting the head forward slightly.
So the question is the head better off in alignment, where you're basically looking straight down, tilted forward slightly? That's where he was the last time we looked at him. Or is it tucked down a little bit where it's like, Pernell Bloom was in 2016. She swam the whole 50 with her head underwater and two arms coming out of the water. It was like she never popped her head up until she hit the wall. My theory is that when you are forward and you're arching your back, you get more power, you get more propulsion. And so that's a good thing, right? But when your head breaks a surface, there's a lot more drag, because that's the front leading object, creates a bow wave, and that surface wave or bow wave is pretty significant. It's about a quarter of the total drag. So in theory, if the head can be underwater, especially at the peak velocity, which is right after the hand hits the water, you're going to be faster than if it's breaking through. So at least at that point, we want to see the head underwater. And that means the bow wave comes over the top. So in a way, you can be down here, and then as you start to pull, you arch. I mean, it's like if I ask you to pull up, you're not going to do it with your back straight. You're going to arch that back and get more power. It's the same as swimming. You're more powerful here. So the head can be down, and when you do that, it's going to come up a little bit. But what often is neglected or forgotten is when you come down is to tuck down, and then the lift up is going to happen automatically because you're going to go for that power. Kick. I want to start out. We kick kind of the race club way, and this is, again, not everybody does this, but I like to kick with the arms at the side. So we're going to put the snorkels on, fins on, and just kind of adjust your head position. Tomorrow we're going to test where the best head position is: tucked in, neutral, or forward slightly. And it makes difference in your speed, but we got to figure out where is the best spot for you with head position. So when you're kicking, I want you to try to keep the head kind of tucked down, looking straight down, maybe 1 inch of the snorkel coming out. Arms relaxed. Don't kick hard. Let's just get 100 to get your legs warmed up, and then we'll go into a little bit of freestyle. Let's start with you tilted forward. Brad, this is the way you were swimming. I think you've always swum kind of slightly tilted forward. We'll do a build 25, okay? And use whatever recovery technique that you like. And I want to see you go pretty fast. Use your fins because I want to see speed here. The more speed you have, the more the drag is going to impact your ability and how you feel. Slightly forward, tilting to the middle. Okay, and you start. We'll just do one at a time. Yeah, and there he's lower octane, especially on the left. So he's kind of medium octane on the right and low on the
left. With his head tilted forward technique, the bow wave goes over the top of Brad's head at his highest speed, but the wave is noticeably larger.
All right, so that should be a position of power. You should feel pretty strong doing that, but you both look like barges moving down. There was a whole tidal wave. I could have gotten my surfboard out and rode. Now we're going to put the head in alignment. So try to imagine your neck is just fused to your upper body and you're straight. You'll be looking down here, not forward. Okay, but try to keep it in alignment with your upper body. Same thing, build it up to top speed, all right? See the bow wave now coming over the top of his head. Neutral position, ready, go.
With his head in alignment with the upper body, The bow wave is smaller than with Brad's head tilted forward. That means there's less drag with this technique. But how does this technique affect Brad's propulsion and his overall speed? Only the velocity meter testing would help us discover the answer.
You know, for my education, I'd like to try one more, and this time we're going to actually tuck the chin down just slightly. I mean, that's probably not a place we're going to be, but not all the way to your chest, but instead of being neutral, you're almost going to look backward just slightly, okay? And we're just going to compare that to the first two, all right? This is probably a position you've never been in, but I want you to put your head in all three positions, all right? And believe it or not, we do get some people who actually drop their head too low, and I want to see how you feel in this, all right?
After both swimmers tested the freestyle technique with the chin tucked down even farther, almost tilting the head backward, they both agreed it was a non-starter. To find out which head technique worked better for Brad, in alignment with his upper body or tilted slightly forward, stay tuned to our upcoming video on the velocity meter comparison test.